How do you say them? Where'd it go? Esophageal. All right. So tonight's going to be some working. So make sure you've got your workbook available. If not, download chapter 1, module 1 from the website, from the dashboard. And I'm going to let this play in the background, just so the vibration is there. Let me put my glasses on. Okay, chapter 1, vitality and wellness. Page
13.
Page 13. So, core beliefs. The whole concept and what you're going to be working on tonight is really starting to understand and make notes and write the things that you're doing. So, first question is what is your core belief? What is your fundamental belief about your wellness? What's your premise? Right. So if you turn to the next page, page 14, what are the fundamental beliefs about health and wellness? Reflect on the underlying assumptions about what it means to be healthy and well. How do these beliefs influence your daily choices? So start writing. What is your belief about your wellness? What is your belief about your health? Where did those beliefs come from? And you may need more paper. But I want you to start writing it down. This isn't the only way you're going to learn this is by doing it. There's nothing I can say. There's nothing I can teach you. There's nothing that I can do that's going to make you get your definite major purpose together for your wellness. Not a single thing. So what are your beliefs on that? And start writing them. And this is what you'll be doing on your own. This is part of the conversation. So do you believe that your culture, when I would do this in the Latin market, a lot of times people would say, well, my culture makes me fat because we eat tacos. Right? When I would do it in Italy, we're healthy because we drink a lot of wine. So are there cultural beliefs, right? Irish, we eat potatoes. We eat corned beef. We drink beer. We drink Guinness. Guinness is good for you. Right? There's a marketing piece for you. So what is your beliefs about your wellness? My mom and dad both smoked. Did that have any effect on me as a little one? Probably. Is it possible that I fixed those cells since childbirth? Romanians live to eat. Those are beliefs. So write those down. What are the beliefs you have around your wellness, around food, around water? Michelle doesn't drink a whole lot of water. So Hungarians don't drink a whole lot of water. Her dad, their largest pedigree was Hungarian. Yeah, that's why we like a lot of sauerkraut and like ribs and different things. What's your beliefs around wellness? Write it down. What are the assumptions you make about being healthy? You have to make assumptions about being healthy if you're not. If you're overweight, you have an assumption about well, I'm big boned, or I always carry a few extra pounds. I wouldn't look, if I was at my ideal weight, I wouldn't look healthy. That was my mom used to say that all the time. They want me to be 130 pounds. I'd look like the Walking Dead. But keep writing. Journal. Who's had an aha in writing?
Well, I've certainly had a lot of ahas.
Okay. Any you'd like to
Okay.
share?
Yeah. The one thing that I came up with today was I should be, one of my core beliefs is I should be exercising at a very close level to what I exercised, how I exercised in my 40s. And I'm in my 70s now. So that's not going to happen. But it's a opportunity to kind of beat myself up. Well, Maureen, you should be, running 10Ks like you used to, or so that was a big aha for me today. We did work on this at the retreat, which is wonderful. And I'm looking back at some of that stuff and going, yeah, that's still very valid. But this is going deeper. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So,
Thank
so who said that? Was it the 40-year-old version of you or the 70-year-old version of you that wants to have an excuse? Ask it. Don't assume, ask. Say who? Okay, so who said I should be running 10Ks? My 40-year-old self? Or the one that's the me of now that wants to have a reason to find fault?
Yeah, my 40-year-old self, definitely.
Okay, so ask your 40-year-old self, how should it run at when it's 70?
Yeah. Not so much.
Right? So again, these are the dialogues to have because these are happening at a subconscious level,
Yeah.
right?
Uh,
And this is everybody. We have to find out where these assumptions came from. Mine is I grew up on a farm. I don't need to exercise. Now, the evidence proves I lost 30 pounds when I got back out here to the ranch. Didn't necessarily change my diet. You just you're not around eating all the time. You're not sitting still. You're not sedentary. In the last 2 years, I've done more activity than I have in the previous 20. That's how long I lived in Dallas, 20 years. You don't go outside when your lawn is the size of a postage stamp. and you hire somebody to cut the grass. So what's your awareness for those of you that are kind of wrapping that first part up? What's your awareness? Take a moment, reflect on how you're feeling right now at this moment as you're responding in your Life Navigator questions and core belief. Write out the feelings that are flowing inside of you. Do you feel it in any particular place in your body? Make note of that. So this idea that you need more exercise, or you need to drink more water, or sleep more. Sleep is part of your wellness program. Based on science, I need to sleep more. I need to get about another hour and a half of sleep a night. I believe I'll probably be able to do that. Meaning be able to sleep. My big thing then is, well, what won't I get done? That's the misnomer that I have. What won't I get done? The question might be, is what am I not getting done because my brain's not working at its max?
And that's something that I experienced with regards to sleep. Ever since I started being on this call, my sleep has completely changed, because I want to be on this call. I want to, not this, I mean, the morning call. The morning call. And I want to be alert and awake. So it wasn't easy at first to go to bed earlier, because I'd gotten in the habit of doing things late through raising children, and they were asleep. So now I'm going to get my stuff done. And then I'd be up very late and I'd get up early, which I kind of bragged about, which was not benefiting me at all. But since putting into, having the intention of being rested to be on the morning call, I get great sleep. It's great. And the thing that has changed is that the voice I kept hearing about my weight and all of that was the voice that wasn't a voice speaking to me. It was a voice I overheard my mother saying to herself, which is interesting. And I only identified that just this moment. It didn't come up at the ranch. And I've always felt responsible for my own health, my physical health. And but the underlying voice was interesting. It wasn't directed at me. It was at herself, and I just adopted it, because it wasn't necessarily true all my growing up years, and even into college. It was, wow, you just eat like crazy, and nothing adheres to you. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. And I had 3 babies, and I just kept thinking that until I started running. Anyway, all of that to be said, I just did not realize that the voice I heard was not directed at me. I had just taken the recording and played it over and over.
What the parents do in public, the children will do in excess.
And it was Veritas who brought that to my attention.
So I'm curious, how many years did you have the language until it just transformed tonight? How long had you been carrying that belief? You had to give it some years.
Well, even as a young a teenager and a young adult, I was carrying that. So I mean, it's been half a century.
Okay. So what other half century old, this is important for everybody, what other half century old or 30-year-old or 20-year-old beliefs are you carrying that you're not even aware of?
I can't wait to find out.
So with
It's
this
going to be fascinating.
With this new awareness that was somebody else's sentences you've been carrying around as your own.
Mm-hmm.
What's the new story?
The new story is that I am enough and I am comfortable and I love me just the way I am.
Okay. So are you at your ideal weight?
No, I'm not.
Okay. So I love who I'm becoming.
I love who I'm becoming.
And what happens if you give up, if you lose the weight?
I'll fit into smaller clothing.
Okay. And what's the benefit of that?
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
The benefit of smaller clothing. The benefit.
So let's ask this question. Why do you think your story said that?
Well, I don't have smaller clothing.
Okay. So was it a self-image? Was it so that you could go buy stuff, or was it so that if you lost, you don't have to lose the weight because you don't have the clothes?
I don't. Am I putting a priority on losing the weight or feeling comfortable? Healthy and happy. Healthy.
Right.
Being comfortable in myself would eliminate, I don't know. I'm not necessarily an emotional eater, but I could probably go there.
Okay. So are you comfortable with your wellness now?
I can improve. I can always improve.
So are you comfortable? I'll ask the witness to again answer the question.
I am.
If you could wave a magic wand, would you enhance your wealth, your health? Would you drop 2 pounds, 5 pounds? Would you give away 5 pounds? Would that be, or 10 pounds? Or what would be your ideal that you would just be like, oh, I just know that if I gave away this weight, my metabolism would be better, I would sleep better, everything would be better.
Yeah, looking at probably 35. I don't know. I haven't been on a scale in almost a year.
Okay, so get on a scale and figure out what that number is. So is it 35? Would you guess it's 35, or is it 40, or is it 25?
It might. No. Let's make it 40.
Okay. So now, are you comfortable with being 40 pounds overweight?
I guess not. I am trying to think of what am I not able to do because of this, and I haven't been stopped unless I'm just lying to myself.
Okay. Maureen. So what's the benefit of losing 40 pounds?
Being even more active, I think.
Okay. So how would you know you haven't done it if you can't be more active? You're able to do everything you want to do at being 40 pounds heavier than you want to be.
I don't know. I'm speaking from
So what
Nowhere.
would have to change in the next year to give up 40 pounds? Pound a week.
Being incredibly consistent with my water drinking and getting just more active, probably more active.
If giving up the weight gave you one more day with your grandbabies or your kids, would you do it?
Sure.
So could that be the start of why you might want to do it?
Yes.
So you see what's happening here, and thank you, Louise, for playing along, is that we are comfortable
in our discomfort. Yeah. And I like the way you said giving away.
Yeah, because anything you lose, you find it.
I've always like, okay, I don't want to say lose. I don't want it back.
Say again, Diane.
Can't hear you. I'm having a hard time hearing.
Nobody hears you, Sean. I don't know what happened to your mic.
Testing.
Yeah.
Let's try this.
It's working now.
Okay. I'll put this mic on as a backup too. I don't know if it's the mic or if it's the signal. So if any of your kids were 40 pounds overweight, would you tell them, yeah, hey, you may want to do something about your weight? If your grandkids were 40 pounds overweight, would you say something?
I would make some suggestions, probably.
Okay, so it sounds like you'd be kind about it. Well, it's their kids.
Well, I would be talking from they know I have this health prevention mindset.
Okay.
So
then the question is can you make the decision to say 40 pounds are gone?
Yeah.
And you just make the
live
decision.
As that person.
Yeah, they're done. It's done. I'm going to get healthy. So what's how much water? This is for all of you. You all have to make these decisions.
I'm happy when I'm drinking a gallon of water a day.
Okay. So were you on track for that today so far?
Yes, I am. I have purchased a 32-ounce drinking container that I know I have to fill up at least 4 times. I'm not going for exact. I just know 4 times is my goal. 4 times a day. I had a gallon jug, and the idea was to empty it by the end of the day. It just, I don't know, it didn't resonate. So now I've got this jug.
Cool. Now, healthy water, alkaline water?
No.
Okay, you can buy drops for that. You don't need you can get a machine. You know somebody who's got a machine, but until then you can get some drops. Get some pH drops. Where are mine at? Mine are here somewhere. Here they are.
Okay.
So these are AlkaZone, balance your pH, antioxidants and alkaline minerals. Right. So this I get off Amazon. I'm sure somebody in network marketing has got some great drops for alkalining. And look at a shower filter. Do you have a shower filter on your shower?
I do not.
Okay, you may want to look at that. 5 minutes of a chlorinated shower is equivalent to 30 days of drinking chlorinated water. And yes, they have expensive ones, and yes, you can get all of this stuff, but having a shower filter on there just to get rid of the chlorine would be huge. Some of them have ceramic minerals in it to add some minerals and vibration and far infrared, right? But if you're committed to your wellness, these are all of the little things that are working against you. It's never the big things. It's the little things done consistently. Right? You're drinking clean water. It wouldn't hurt to bathe in clean water.
Yeah.
Right? Non-chlorinated. Your hair will feel different. Your skin will feel different. And we're just talking water. We're not even talking food. Who else had an aha? Thank you.
Thank you.
Louise.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Who else had an aha in writing?
Sean?
Hey, go ahead.
I've always, well, in my 20s, I decided I'm not going to follow the footsteps of my parents.
Right.
My father's side of the family had a lot of like heart disease and stroke and the whole works. And my mother's side had rheumatoid arthritis. So I used to always go to the gym, and I did boot camps and stuff till in my 50s. In my 60s, I did change my routine for my exercise because I got more into strength training. And some yoga and stuff like that. And I find that works for me to keep me active and healthy. And that's my aim is to be active and healthy with my grandchildren, which I'm doing. So I changed that trajectory for my children and for myself.
I love it. And one of the things that we have in this particular community that is pretty valuable is we have the likes of Heather and Amber for frequency work and for psyche work and just different beliefs about it, these core beliefs that are about our wellness and our health that we carry that get locked in there. I know sometimes when I would, I'd get a discomfort in my body somewhere that just seemed odd and out of place. And Amber would do some clearing on it, and it would be generational. 4 generations back on my father's side. And when she would clear it, it would literally leave my body. So that's energy work. So part of your wellness is to get some energy work, possibly get some energy work done, and move into this understanding that light and life operate hand in hand. And if there's some things that you're not particularly familiar with, and some of this could be traumas that we've had in our life, not necessarily food traumas, but traumas in and of itself. I was never a heavy child. I was always, because of working on the farm. But there's some people who are scarred from, and listen, I probably said it as much, right? How many of you remember the can't fit through the bathroom door little saying, right? Fatty 2x4 can't fit through the bathroom door. I don't remember the rest of it. But kids are vicious. Kids are vicious. And so maybe there's some old things that are hanging out down there as it relates to your wellness. So the second question is, close your eyes. What do you see? What do you feel? What do you hear when you hear your sovereign? For those of you familiar with the archetypes, what do you hear your sovereign saying to you at this moment? Take yourself into the great room and listen to the voices of your inner council. What are you hearing? So take a moment, close your eyes, and see what that says. Go ahead, Louise.
I actually did this just before I did it another time. I did it at the ranch and then I did it here, and
Yep.
I'm still writing that. So I thought, well, I'd like to share if it's not too early to share for everyone.
No, please go.
So when I closed my eyes, do you remember when you had us all go into our castle and turn on the big switch?
Yes.
for just turn on the energy, turn on. Mine was kind of rusted and I had to really pull on it, and it wasn't easy, and I pulled on it. Anyway, today there was no rust. But what was really interesting is that Veritas took, and Veritas is my sovereign, she she took me into the great room, and there was so much cheering and brightness. There was no sound. It was, I know this is going to sound really psychedelic. Anyway, the cheers were as if there were explosions of fireworks. There's just so much light and so much energy in the air, and the clapping, so much clapping that every time hands came together, light was just flowing out. But there was no sound except for, and the feeling that when I did this part at the ranch, it was in my solar plexus. I didn't have this vision at all. This time it was in my solar plexus and in my chest, and now it's sort of taken over my whole body. But there was so much joy and love, no sound. It was incredible, peaceful, but I knew there was sound. You know, I mean, there was the sound of energy and vibration that I was feeling. It was just anyway. All right, I think I'm out of words.
So let's look at that. And Amber, if you hear anything that pops up into your brain, into your spirit that you want to share, simply unmute and share. But here's the thing: ask Veritas why there was no sound.
Oh.
What did she want you to pay attention to? What did she want you to become aware of?
You said it, I repeated it, and she had an answer. I wanted you to see what it looks like, rather than, yeah. And I get that. I sense the cheering and and all of that, the noise.
So what's the value you now get in being able to witness this joy? What does not hearing it shift in your body for you?
It's not just talking about the energy and the vibration. It's visible. It's there, and there is a certain aspect that I am understanding now, that in noise and just sounds and things, I can get lost in and go, oh yeah.
Okay.
Instead of actually grasp them.
So do you have this awareness locked in now?
I do.
Is it okay if Veritas turns up the sound for this now?
Yes.
Or would you rather keep it quiet?
Well, right now I love the quiet, but you know,
Okay.
I will, the thing is, I will know that the noise is the result of all of that energy and vibration.
Cool. I love it. And what makes going through this book so much different than any other kind of manual or 12-month course you could go through is that you have your archetypes. And you can create a vitality and wellness archetype.
Oh.
They are able to monitor your blood. They are able to monitor your heart rate and be able to monitor your sleep. And that their only goal is your wellness. Your sovereign is your sovereign. Your lover is your lover. Hello, Fifi. Your magician is your magician. Your warrior is your warrior. And you can have now your healer, right? Some of you have your healer archetype. Some of you have your prince and princess archetype. Now you can create a vitality. You can create the wellness archetype for the kingdom. Your own Jack LaLanne.
and the wellness archetype is different from the healer archetype.
Yes. Okay. Yep.
Good to know. Thank you for allowing me to share. I was excited about that.
Good. Anybody else want to share on this page 14 conversation? Are you understanding the process? Here we are 40 minutes into this, and we're on page 1. This is to give you some in-depth, and I've been doing a lot of talking, and Louise has shared and allowed me to talk some more. The reality is that it's this type of deep work. I was listening to Cal Newport in Deep Work this afternoon, mowing some grass, and Fee, leave Mason's Cheetos alone. Those aren't mine. Leave. Now that I'm in the wellness book, do you know why it's so hard for us to do deep work? Because of all of the multitasking that we do. We can't, our brain is not trained for attraction. It is trained for distraction. And that trained for distraction keeps you from being able to focus, keeps you from being able to set a goal and follow it. So there's almost a detox, a distraction detox that needs to take place. And that's what I hope this book helps you do, is it's not that you're just going to get healthy. It's the other 11 items in the book, the other 11 modules that are going to continue to help you create a lifelong journey of wellness. Who else? Thoughts, comments, takeaways on understanding this and using this and starting to see how you can apply your skills and talents and your questioning. This is where you're going to learn great questioning. As you go through this process, you're going to learn how to communicate questions in such a manner that allow people to begin to unlock their own potential. Who else? Anybody else get an aha in this? So here's what we're going to do. You've got 15 minutes more. I can leave the music playing. You can jump off, but I'm going to ask you to give yourself the 15 minutes to go do the next question. Give yourself the focus. And you'll be getting invites into the back office. This is in Kartra, so this will be the Kartra back office, where you've gotten the all the secret sauce back offices. Ooh. My brain is resetting on wellness. So go through and answer the next couple of questions, and then look at when you do your intentions in the morning. Look at adding the wellness to it. Looking at adding your vitality to it. Drinking your water, committing to your water, committing to dress sizes, committing to mental space, giving yourself some mental space, getting your mind, right? Mind wellness in order. Listening to harmonics, listening to binaural beats, listening to self-talk, giving yourself some space so that you can begin to have more of what you want and less of what you don't. Allow yourself to begin to heal from the inside out, the outside in. and really take some time and journal and do the slow journaling so that it starts to rewire you at a cellular level. Remember, every cell in our body is the equivalent of the energy going on in an aircraft carrier. There's that many decisions and actions and functions taking place just inside of one cell, equivalent of an aircraft carrier with 5,000 people on board. So you've started this journey. This is a year-long journey. And yes, nobody has access to it yet. I'll set that up. I'll be doing that, sending those invites out here later this evening and tomorrow. So, very cool. Any questions before I let you go? Go ahead, Maureen.
I had a question regarding your morning meditations that you do. I know this is a little off this subject, but I have a really hard time finding you outside of just going to YouTube, and then it seems like it's like days ago or months ago that I can find. So I'm missing something, and maybe you and I can have a conversation about this.
Sure, but if you go to the live, so there's recordings content on my YouTube page, but if you click on the live button, this morning's call is there. So everything is there. Everything is under the live tab.
That's where I was, and all I could find was a meditation from several days ago.
Let me go there.
I'll look again.
Okay, I'll just take a quick peek right now, just so I can see. YouTube Studio. And content, live. Upcoming legacy leadership, that's happening right now. Switch accounts. Yes, I need to be in the Gmail account. And so yeah, live. Yeah, this morning's meditation's there. The fourth is there. Fourth meditation is there. And the other ones is when I was traveling to the ANMP. They're probably, I don't know that I could live stream it from my phone to YouTube. I don't know how to do that, so I'm sure it could have been done. But yeah, this morning's is there, and this event will be there. So we can definitely have a conversation as well.
Okay, good, because I miss out a lot. But I'm not going to be able to.
No, I get it. No, yeah, not 2 a.m.
So.
I'll make sure you get it. I'll tag you in it. We'll figure out a way so that you don't miss them.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, Ruth.
Hello. So I want to know what my homework is. So
your
next
homework
week
is go through the 3 questions here and begin to live those ideas, those awarenesses.
On page 14.
So page 14, 15. So you're going through core beliefs. You're establishing your core beliefs, and then next week we'll do ideal outcomes. And if you want to go ahead, you can go ahead. You can go through all of vitality and wellness, but they're designed. So there's 4 series of questions, and so the ideal outcomes.
But is that what I'm supposed to have done by next week, or I do up to page?
Have all of these done. Have the 3 questions and core beliefs done.
Oh, okay. So what is that? 13, 14, 15, or what? 14, 15, 16?
Yep.
Got it. Okay.
And then establish what your new core beliefs are for your vitality and your wellness.
And that is page.
No, that's all. That's in there. That's the 2 responses underneath. To each of the questions, there's the what'd you learn and what do you feel? What's your new understanding?
Got it. For each page, 14, 15, and 16. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And then visit those on a regular basis, and in journaling and in your gratitude, possibly make your gratitude about your core beliefs around wellness.
Mm-hmm. So it's almost like writing it on an index card and just looking at it every day like that?
Sure. If that works for you, what can you do? So let's find out. What is it that you would like to improve in your wellness and vitality?
Doing exercise every day.
Okay.
Some sort of exercise.
What would that look like? Is it cardio? Is it stretching? Is it yoga? Is it?
It's Qigong, at least. And then I'm getting ready for my daughter's wedding, and I want to dance an hour a day to build endurance for the wedding.
Okay. So what time do you, if I know life is flexible, but if you were to give, how much time doing your Qigong practice, and how much time is that? Half hour, 45 minutes, 20 minutes?
45 minutes. Mm-hmm.
So 2 hours a day you're going to spend in dance and Qigong.
And I want to put a little of Joe Dispenza meditation in there.
Okay, so now we're at 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
So now we got 3 hours. Is it 3 individual hours? Is it 3 hours back to back? Ideally, what's the best for you?
Splitting them up.
Okay, so 3 individual hours.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so from the time you wake up, which is crazy dark 30, what time, if you had to pick a time right now, I know it's flexible, but what would be the first hour that you would spend, and what would you spend it in? Meditation, dancing, or Qigong?
I would do Qigong first.
Okay, so what hour would you pick if you had to pick an hour just off the top of your head?
5:30.
So 5:30 in the morning. So 5:30 to 6:30, Qigong.
Mm-hmm.
How does that make you feel?
It's doable.
Okay, how does it make you feel? That's not a feeling.
Feels content.
Yeah, right. So does it feel intense? Do you feel like it's this is one of those things I don't want to work that hard. I gotta do this. I gotta do it at 5:30. Is it that, or is it no? I get to do it at 5. This is something I haven't done in a while, because you've done Qigong for an hour before, right?
Yes, but it's usually later in the day, like 7.
Okay.
I'd like to do it earlier.
Okay, so if you do it earlier, you have a new identity now.
Mm-hmm.
Are you okay with an early Qigong identity?
Well, yeah. So I do a Qigong with other people at 7, but on the days I don't do that, Interesting
answer, Your Honor. The witness is not answering any question I asked. That's a great answer, but it's not the question I asked.
Well, you're asking. Okay,
I asked, are you okay?
Again.
Are you okay with a 5:30 a.m. Qigong identity?
Yes, but on the days that I don't have to do it.
I don't care, Your Honor. Only answer the question.
Yes.
The other days you're going to do it when you do it. We're talking about the days when you don't do the others, that your identity is going to shift.
Yes. Yes.
Right? Are you okay with not having the backup of the other group on the days that you do it at 5:30?
Yes.
So
I'm counting on myself, right?
Yes. Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So now you've got Qigong done on the days that you're not doing it with the other group in the group one. Mm-hmm. So what's the next thing you do? Dance or Joe Dispenza?
So I feel like I should do Joe Dispenza, but I want to get the dancing done and out of the way.
Okay. So is the dancing now a have to or a get to?
Well, I feel like it's a little bit of both, but I get to do it, but I feel like I have to do it to get in shape.
Who are you going to dance with at the wedding?
Whoever, my grandbaby, I don't know, anybody that's on the dance floor. I just want to have fun.
So who do you want to have fun with dancing?
Everybody that's on the floor.
Okay. So tell me who's on the floor.
My daughter, my son-in-law, my son, my daughter-in-law, my husband, my granddaughter, or the bridesmaids. I don't care. I'm just going to be on the floor.
Right. So you're going to be on the floor. And are people going to be surprised you're dancing?
Maybe.
So now you have a new identity. People are going to go, oh my God, I didn't know you could dance so well, or I didn't know you liked to dance. So there's all these identities in simply starting the practice that you are going to shake people's impression of you about dancing. Are you okay? So this was a great line. You guys heard it as well at the ANMP. Die with memories, not dreams.
Yes. Yes.
So what are the memories you're going to create on the dance floor?
That I know how to enjoy myself.
And that's it. Did you see what her body just did? I know how to enjoy myself. You like had a little seizure. Right? So this isn't a strategy, it's a state you want to be in.
Mm.
And you are all about strategy. Give me my homework. Strategy.
Yes, strategy.
So can you do your dance in state? Can you just stand there and flow your arms? Right? Isn't Qigong dance?
A very slow motion dance.
Yes, but imagine if part of it was, and grandbabies won't know, and they just follow you in the Qigong, and you're doing the dance and the sideways and the pushing, right? That's as much dance as anything. Intentional dance, right? Energetic dance would just happen to be called Qigong. So now we've got the meditation at 5. We've got the Qigong at 5:30. We've got when would you do the dance? What time? If you just had to pick an hour? A bit.
I would like to do it 10 in the morning.
Okay, so 10. So now we got 10 to 11. And when would you do meditation?
I like to do it in the afternoon, like 3.
Okay, so do those times work in your calendar? Right now, they're flexible, but right now, 5:30, 10, and 3.
Yeah.
What would you give up to do those hours? What would you give up to 5:30?
Sleep.
Okay. What would you give up at 10?
Well, I'm not giving. I'm just going to move things, shift them.
Listen, they weren't on your calendar. You already had a 24-hour day. You already had a 24-hour day. Yeah, you got something is not going to get done. And I could be scrolling. It could be.
I was just going to say that. I would just not go on Facebook.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So again, you see what's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Anything you're about to go do, something has to give up.
Mm-hmm.
We've done 15 hours of mowing grass since the mowers come back. 15 hours of mowing grass. Something had to be given up. Mason had to give up sleeping in bed because he went out and cut grass for 4 hours today. Allowed me to do things in my office that trust me, cutting grass is making this place look like a show place is the highest priority for me, because I always want it. But when you go to do something, when you add something in, something has got to give, because you already had 24 hours in your day. You weren't sitting around going, I got an extra hour. Nobody's got an extra hour.
Right.
So what would you give up at the 3 o'clock for meditation?
Yeah. Well, I was going to say I was going to give up my walk. But I'll give up the walk for then, and I'll just do a walk later in the evening.
Okay. Why don't you do his walking meditations?
I could do that, but when you stop and have your eyes closed in the middle of the neighborhood, if my neighbors drove by, they would think I was crazy.
Slowly walk around the house.
Do that.
I'm just saying, there's always 1,001 ways, because when you close your eyes, you're in space. You're not anywhere. Doesn't matter where you're at.
Right.
Just say it doesn't always have to be a walking meditation.
Right.
But you can do your walk and meditate. And maybe you walk to a park bench and you sit down.
Mm.
I just want you to expand your possibilities of your greatness.
Yeah.
Do y'all see what we just did? Do y'all see how we just walked through that? Mm-hmm. You think, oh, well, I'm going to add this in. No, something's got to give. You got to give up something. Otherwise, you'll never get this done. You'll never find a way to go through this, because you're trying to squeeze and compress. This is about giving yourself space. Mm. It's about living your ideal life. And the other thing that you all can start to do in your self-talk is say, I'm on a vitality and wellness journey, and solutions come to me effortlessly. And you'll be amazed at how all of a sudden things that you had to do, somebody else is doing them. Could you imagine if somebody winds up, hey, listen, I stopped and did the shopping. What? Yeah, I got this urge. Well, you're welcome. You have access to the creator of the universe. Do you think anything you're about to go do is going to be a challenge? It's only us. It's our ego edging God out. That makes it a challenge. Because the thing you get on the other side of all of this awareness is freedom. Financial freedom, time freedom, energetic freedom, freedom from fear. Who had an aha? That's what this is about. And this is the first session. Can you imagine masterminding on this as we get into the rest of these modules?
So I have another question.
Sure.
And it's back to strategy again, because I feel lacking in the what do you call those? Oh my goodness. Like the warrior, what do you call those?
The archetypes. Yep.
So I feel like I need to go back to the old lessons and really understand that, and really I feel like I'm missing out on that.
Okay, so let's make it real easy. Because you're going to go back through the strategy of the archetype. Do you have do you have a sovereign archetype?
I don't think so.
Okay, so the sovereign would be feminine, right? Your highest, but you have both feminine and male sovereign, a king and a queen. So if you were to close your eyes and you were to walk into a castle, into your castle, and you're in the great room, the big hall where the throne room is, where all of the big events happen and all of the pomp and circumstance, and you walk up to the throne, how many steps from where you're at are up to your throne?
20.
Okay. So 20 steps up. So you're standing at the bottom step. The kingdom knows you're the creator of this kingdom. And out walks from the back, you're standing looking at the throne, so either from your left or from your right, your sovereign walks out. The queen walks out. From which side does she walk out? The left side or the right side?
The left.
The left side. So she walks out from the left side, and the crowd goes amazing, right? Then cheers for the sovereign. She walks out. What's she wearing?
Gold everywhere. Gold robe.
Does she have a crown on?
She does.
Does she have a staff?
No.
No? Okay, so she just walks out. She's got gold on in her, and she sees you. She looks down those 20 steps and she sees you. Can you feel the smile on her face? The sheer joy she gets when she sees you?
It kind of surprises me. So.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Because she knows you are the avatar that she gets to work through. And she gestures you to come to the top. And you start walking up the first step and the second step. And you start to hear the words in the crowd behind you. There she is. That's Ruth. That's Ruth. We've heard of Ruth. And you continue to walk up the step, the fourth step, the fifth step. And the queen is encouraging everybody to cheer you on. Because you're the Ruth they all know of. And you arrive at the top step, standing next to your sovereign. And she whispers in your ear. What does she whisper to you?
You're worthy.
So do you have a connection now with your sovereign? Yeah, you didn't need a lesson. You needed a memory.
Mm.
Enjoy that.
Mm.
Turn and face the crowd. Face the same way she faces. Look at the crowd. Do you see those cheers? Do you hear them saying, thank you? Thank you for making us. Thank you for bringing us to your time and space.
It's overwhelming.
It is, isn't it?
Yes.
And this is day one. This is day one. Now, while you're on stage right there, ask her her name. What name does she tell you to be called by?
It's the same. It's Janelle.
Okay. So Janelle, outstanding. So you know who Janelle is. And out walks your magician. Your magician is the one who snaps their fingers, is the one where you instantly make your grandbabies go from crying to laughing. That's you, the magician. So your magician walks out. And your magician genuflex, bows their head to you and says, welcome, Ruth. How do you feel now that your magician is there?
Feel stronger.
Okay. So your queen lets you know that you command the magician as much as she does. You can ask him for help, her for help at any moment. They can be both masculine and feminine for different needs, different ideas. When you're curious about, how do I help my son? You can always ask the male magician. And now your lover comes out. That one who just absolutely walks on flower petals, looks at flowers and they bloom, looks at people and they smile, such an incredible smile. Your lover walks out and they give you this most embracing hug. Feel that for just a second. Be overwhelmed by the love. Because this is the love coming back to you. This is all the love you've poured into the world over the centuries. And in one embrace, she's recharging you, filling you up. This is overwhelming. This is what it feels like, unconditional love. And the queen informs the lover that you can instantly request them, the lover and the magician, you can instantly command them to guide you with solutions. And now your warrior comes out. Your warrior could be 10 feet tall, 100 feet tall. This is the one that does all of the work so you don't have to. When you say it is done, the warrior takes over. The warrior's strong. The warrior's filled with honor and respect and with fight and with determination, and is designed to protect entire kingdom. And in your kingdom are the kingdoms of all of your children, are the kingdoms of all of your grandbabies. Each of them have their own kingdom. They are inside your kingdom, and your warrior guards and guides over all of them as well. So you now stand on this platform, 20 steps up, with your sovereign, with your lover, with your warrior, and your magician. And you can have this conversation. You can go back to this moment in an instant and learn more about them. Ask them, how do I best use you? This was all new to me. I'm so glad that we're here, but this is all new to me. How do I best use you? And they'll say, simply ask. Well, I like to do. Let us do with you. So I'm going to bring you back to this moment in time. You're going to simply either go back in the doors behind the throne where the queen came out of, or the others came out of, or down the steps and out the great hall. Either way, you're going to always have access to this place. It's the simple, you can come right back to this moment. So you'll come back to this moment now in time and space, healthier than you've ever been, more encouraged, more filled with love, joy, and happiness than you've ever been, more focused on the why and not the how, and you can open your eyes at any time.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that was quite a journey.
How's that feel?
Amazing. Oh, wow.
It's overwhelming. It's emotionally charging, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And all of that while you were sitting right there in the same chair. This is the power of definiteness of purpose. This is the power of allowing your desire. This is the power. All those were words. Only thing we did was use words. And then you created the story, which created the state. And when you got there, you wound up in state because you had a story that made the state possible. You did it all. I didn't build your castle. You built it. You did it like that. You put the 20 steps in. You know how long it would take me to put 20 steps in from here to a throne? Instantly it was there. So enjoy that, live that, breathe that. Go visit that later on tonight. You can just swing by the castle. You can just, hey, I'm going to go swing by the castle on your way to get water. And when you go back, allow yourself, if you want, to introduce yourself to your princess and prince. They're about a 6 and 7 year, probably. How old are your grandbabies? What's the oldest? The oldest grandbaby's 3. So yeah. Imagine a 5-year-old and 6-year-old prince and princess. When you're struggling and suffering, and you're trying to get the warrior to get her head out from under her armpit, or the magician to do something, bring in your prince and princess and say, hey, listen, you go play with them for an hour and then come back and let's solve this problem. And an hour in their world is that long, because we're working with time and space.
That's really cool.
Isn't it?
Yes. And it's cool that I can go back to talk to them.
Yep. And I promise you, so we're going to bring in an expert. Wheezy, when you go back to speak to Veritas, are they always happy to see you?
We are.
And sometimes we forget we can go back there. You can ask Daniela this. We forget to go back there. And they're like, where have you been? Oh my gosh. And they have so much news to tell you. It's incredible. It's the most amazing thing. So, congratulations.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
It's powerful. I'll be on the mower riding, and my king will come and he'll just be jogging alongside the mower because he's that healthy and that good, and he'll be jogging along and he'll be telling me stuff. And my warrior, when my warrior is in full warrior mode, is about 180 feet tall, and I'll hear this boom, and usually it's thunder, and I'll go, oh, my warrior just stepped in. Right? And he'll remind me, why aren't you doing this? Right? I don't need to be this big. So it's cool. It's the conversation, and this is all in your head. This is all of the multiple personalities that we are already. So it's so cool.
Wow, it is cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. Beats listening to a video, doesn't it?
Yes.
I love it, love it, love it. So anyone else, any last thoughts, comments, questions before I let you go? And thank you, Ruth, for asking that. And I'm glad we got to go on that journey.
Thank you so much. I got to go on that journey too with you, Ruth. That was wonderful, because I was in the same position. I'm going, I don't have a solver. So thank you, Sean.
You are welcome. And now that you have access to it, now that you've flipped that switch, and we'll do that in some of the calls, and we'll go activate those things again. And it's really cool when you, and all this is a part of us. We've kept ourselves from doing, right? It's when you activate this now, Ruth, you have activated Janelle, I think it was her name, and you can ask the other ones their names as well, right? If I were to ask you, where does Janelle live in your body? Where does Janelle, if you were to put Janelle in your body, where would she reside in your body? Okay. So now whenever you want Janelle, or you want a Janelle thought, you put it on your for me. You can have conversations. I mean, it's funny, right? There was a lot of people who saw me this weekend, and I'm going to give you an example of this. There's a lot of people who saw me this weekend as this, oh my gosh, you're amazing. You create the energy. Can I get a picture with you? And the two of you are looking at me going, that's the goofball we talk with every morning. Right? I'm the same guy. You may have seen me a little different on stage, right? Because that's a different environment, but I'm still the same guy. And you would have no hesitation to walk up to me and go, hey, listen, and ask me a question, right? Your sovereigns are the same way. You get to go walk right up to them. You've known them all your life. You've known them for centuries. They've been waiting on you. So there is no hesitation. I have a conversation sometimes with my king and my queen going, what the frickety frack are you guys doing in there? Stop playing Sudoku and get your butt out on stage. I need you. Where the heck are you? So there you go. All right, my little navigator misfits. I love you bunches. Thank you for being here. Go have conversations. Go, your homework for the week is to, and ask questions, right? You can ask questions on the morning call or on the Tuesday and Wednesday call, when we're doing the life series, because all of this plays together. So I love you tons. I appreciate you. I'll see y'all where?
The next event.
I love it. All right, everybody. See you in the morning. Have a great night.
Thank you,
John. Love you.
Love you all.
Love you all.
Thank you.